I've been making art since I was like really little. I used to draw on like napkins, and sometimes if the tables in the restaurants were made of paper, I would like draw on that too. So it's kind of been my whole life. And I hope that I can be as open as possible in my work. I know that my doodles are just like of other people right now, but you know, as I evolve as an artist, I would like to think and try my best to kind of like put myself out there in my art, which I've always tried to do, especially like in my fine art pieces. And you know, it's like an emotional process, putting like all of your feelings like out there. I had done pieces, especially like pieces that you do like after like a breakup or something, are always really interesting. Because they're either like very, I remember one piece I did and everything was like white, like the whole landscape and like all the objects, I painted like everything white, and it was just very like desolate, I guess. So I don't know, it's always like a learning process about yourself with art. So I know normally people look at me and I don't look Latina, so that's why I kind of like, but I do, a lot of like my fine art is inspired by my culture. Like a lot of my paintings are portraits from Puerto Rico and things like that. So it's also like kind of like a pride like thing, like just being proud of where I came from. And there's like a whole community on Instagram also too of like different, like there's a hashtag called Latinx Create, and it's basically about people my age being all these different Latin countries like sharing their art. So it's like a huge thing. But with what you see like on my website and my Instagram page, I think it's just the people around me that influence, and also like kind of like what's going on today kind of thing. Like I want to make sure that the work I'm putting out there makes people happy and kind of like uplifting, because I think we need that, and I think, you know, people need to be reminded of how cool they are, and that was basically the whole point of a lot of my drawings.
Also happening right now, the storm surge in St. Augustine. It's trapping 20 people inside that bed and breakfast.
Take a look in that direction and you can see exactly the power of this wind knocking down tree branches and just hitting these stores. And as some owners told me, they do expect for it to get inside and destroy their businesses.
It was like heartbreaking because I thought like the whole town was just going to be like in ruins. So I just wanted to like draw something really quick, like out of my mind. I just like thought of just like the stuff that I saw, posted it, and I literally like took a nap and woke up and I was like, oh, I forgot to sign the drawing, so I was gonna delete it and like repost it, and it was like too late. Like it had already like blown up. People were texting me, like people were sharing it like all over the place, and people were asking me for prints, and I didn't want any of the money. Because I knew that a lot of people were worse off. So I knew that the St. Francis House had announced that they had completely like lost like everything. And you know, that's the only homeless shelter here. I would love to create more pieces for charities and things like that. Because there's hundreds, thousands of really good charities out there, and you know, you've probably seen like they all have really good artists and t-shirts, and they need people to volunteer and to do that kind of thing. So I would definitely do it again. Ever since I was little, I've loved Flagler. Well, I've loved St. Augustine. Ever since I was little, they would take us on field trips here, and I like small towns and walking everywhere because it reminds me of like being in Europe a lot. So when I found out that Flagler had an art program, like it was like I had to go there. I made the mistake in college for a few like years that I thought I had to be like, you know, a lot of the other designers, and you know, or my work's not as intense enough, or my illustrations aren't as detailed enough, when I really should have been focusing on my own style, because clearly everybody liked that better anyway. So it just goes to show you should just do your own style, not try to copy anybody else, because it never works.